everyone. So I'm glad you are here today. I'm Dr. Hui-Ling Wang. I'm from BME. So today I'm going to give you a short talk on using AI to support learning productivity. So first, I would like to acknowledge, recognize, and respect the elder family and forebears of the Gadigal people of the Ola Nation, who we are the traditional owner of the college land. Briefly, so today we are going to cover the 6-stage AI competence loop. In this 6 stages, we actually I divide into 3 different parts. First part is foundation, and then we have execution and then mastery. But today we're going to more focus on foundation, awareness, and exploration. And before that, we will briefly talk about opportunity and challenge of Gen AI. And then finally, today, who attended this webinar, I'm going to send you a practical tour on the checklist, how we're going to, we can provide a look on how when you are using AI, Gen AI. So first things, I don't know how many students are there. I would like you to use your mobile phone. Try to go to this link. This is Mentimeter. So I just want to see which Gen AI tool you have used. It should work. I tried the other day. When you go to this QR code, and I would like you to just enter whatever Gen AI you have used. So which Gen AI tools have you used so far? And you can enter as many as possible. I will give you a couple minutes to enter this question. And Rich and Catherine, I'm hoping you can enter as well.
I think we have some responses, Dr. Hui-Ling.
All right, so keep coming if you are able to do this. Maybe I can put the link on the checklist. Are you able to do it, or Rich? Okay, we see that. Okay, the second question, right? I actually very eager to know your opinion. Is Gen AI helping students learn or making them depend on too much? So do you think is Gen AI helping you to learn or making you depend on too much? So would you please maybe put in the chair list or Q&A and whatever you can, just think a bit. You think Gen AI is helping you or? Sorry, someone is coming, so it's interrupt me. All right. I'm really hoping someone can help me here, but it's okay. I think we only have 30 minutes, so maybe we will just go through it. So I think some of you probably think AI can help you, which I personally think Gen AI is helping our students, even helping me as well. I think they helping personalized learning. So you can have a 24 hours, 7 days tutor with you. They can provide you feedback. I think they actually make us more creative if we use right. They provide a lot of brainstorming idea. You never thought about that way, and the Gen AI can help you. And it also kind of helping us to be better of ourselves, gain more knowledge in certain areas. However, there's a lot of challenges, and we all agree. First things which I put this term is called AI geoism. So this is more like integrity or plagiarism, and it's the AI geoism. No, sorry, this is not why I invented. Someone already talked about this term. So the idea is we kind of use AI's concept idea, and we don't really acknowledge it properly, and we also kind of rely on too much. I'm not quite sure how about you. Sometimes I found the simple email I probably can enter much faster, but I thought, okay, make Gen AI helping me. So we really have to have some kind of self discipline. Sometimes we really should not rely on too much on Gen AI. We really should just also use our own skill to do things. The final one is student may be unsure what is allowed. So at this point, I want to just tell you, which I'm going to cover later on. But I think at this point, really, because there's different units, different lecturer, so you really need to listen to your lecturer. So what kind of requirements, what they can, what is allowed, what is not allowed. I did mention that I have developed this 6-stage AI competence loop. So this is for instructor, and it has been published in a couple places. One is a conference in MIT. So this is in February. I already give the conference, and in this webinar, sorry, the conference is a in-person conference, and it was get a great feedback from academics and researchers, and I'm also writing the chapters from student perspective. So today, I'm just trying to show everybody the first part. So the 6 stage, right? So I'm just thinking when we are writing, when we are doing any project, we are using AI. We actually have it's more like step by steps. So this is how I feel. Anyone, when you are starting doing your Gen AI as a tool, then you need to go through these 6 stages. We don't want you jump into the third stage application or just go to reflection and so on. I think it's important we do step by steps. And today in this talk, right, I will cover all 6 stages, but I'm more focused on first 2 stages, awareness and exploration. So, and this is at the end, I probably will come back to go through this all 6 stage as summary. So let's go through stage by stage. Stage 1 is awareness. It's the first stage when you are using Gen AI. So you are building foundation of AI literacy. So simple term is what kind of Gen AI tool can help us in certain projects. But very important for us in today's talk, I want to focus on we need to understand the risk. We need to aware what Gen AI can do or can't do. So Gen AI can do a lot of things, which we mentioned all these opportunities. However, Gen AI can't do a lot of things either. Or they try to do things, sure they look smart, but they actually making mistakes. So we need to understand the risks like bias, hallucination. This is one really popular word we've been talking about when we're using Gen AI in assessment tasks. And also AI jurism. So did mention about this. And sorry, earlier I did mention, I did invent a term in my paper is the AItegrity. So integrity is AItegrity. So I will talk about a bit later. And then we need to learn about ethical boundary and academic integrity. And I think Professor Maninder is going to give us talk in next talk on academic integrity. I think that will be really important for all students to join as well. And I want to emphasize transparency and disclosure. So this is we need to aware. Now, from disclosure, transparency, I think it's really important for you to admit. And you should be proud if you are using Gen AI. Don't try not to hide your, even you say, I haven't, or I didn't use in certain way. And I feel, personally, I feel it's not good. You should be proud you have used Gen AI and use correctly. You use with integrity. And first things, we need to acknowledge it. So in your assessment task, you need to read carefully and tick properly. I always tell my students, this is like when you go to bank statements, you need to read every word. So this is maybe a bit tricky. He actually asked you, as first one is about Unial, so I can see clear. He asked, his first question is, I did not use any Gen AI. If you say, no, I did not use any Gen AI, then you should not click another 2 or 3. So you should not tick the first one because you did use Gen AI, and then you use Gen AI for your brainstorming. You use Gen AI to help you write or grammar checking, or even use Gen AI for any picture you have used. So acknowledge it. Try not to hide it. And then for me, if you can use Gen AI, it means you are using the tools, but you need to use it accurately and with ethical consideration and so on. Sorry, I'm going here. Yeah. So first things, make sure you understand the policy, what kind of requirements your lecturer allow you to do, and which ones not. Even here, I'm trying to say I like my students use Gen AI because I think you can gain a lot of benefit if you use right correctly. However, different units, different requirements, a certain learning outcome differently. Sometimes you should not use because it's best for you. But if whatever you use or not, acknowledge it properly. Now, so let's be aware. There are a few things we need to know what AI can do or they don't do nicely. First things we know is very popular is AI hallucination. Hallucination is a liar's confidence. So Gen AI always tell you something really confident, like they are experts, but it's wrong. And then later on, I will give you a couple case studies, which is show huge disasters because they trust AI. They believe whatever AI give you are accurate, but it kind of give a lot of false information. So hallucination is Gen AI generate a lot of information. Those information may not be accurate. They just being most people are using it. So they predict next words. And then AI has the imagination and plus combine it together hallucination. So all those things will make your report information data inaccurate. And in school, at the college, we are learning. But can you imagine if you are in at the workplace? So there will be a huge disaster. So second things we need to understand the legal awareness, the data privacy and IP intellectual property. So so they are huge. Another couple hours we can talk about this topic, but I just want to put this clear to you. Whatever you use, whatever you put on Gen AI, Copilot, and so on, those things will become public. So everything you type in AI, Gen AI, essentially it become part of the AI memory, and sometimes they for the training, and then it can be breached. So you have to be careful. Don't put your personal information, like your bank detail, and so on. But I know a lot of students, even many people, are using Gen AI to generate CVs or your, I don't know, resume and so on. So you have to be careful. And very important is do not use any policy, college policy and so on in those platforms, because ultimately it's in danger. So be careful about data privacy and IP. Next one, this is interesting. So Gen AI doesn't know everything. So if you go to ChatGPT, ask them, what happened this morning? They probably unable to tell you detail because they are not reporter. They are more historical recorder, even they contain a lot of wrong information. So this is a knowledge cutoff. So there's one nice metaphor which I like. He say AI is just like a librarian. They know a lot of information, but they don't go out. They don't really know the what's happening right now. So you need to be careful. AI lives in the past. So it is trained on a snapshot of the internet that ended months or years ago. This is an algorithm bias, and which this is also huge research topic about social awareness. So what happened? What does this mean here? AI is biased. So he has those personality, try to please you. So he wants to make you happy, and then he actually is a mirror of who you are. So here it says, AI is a mirror of the internet existing prejudice. So if you are asked to describe a successful entrepreneur, he may default a stereotype. Ignore the diversity of the real senior business landscapes. So interesting. I actually try to use uh Gemini to build. So I also have another paper about employees at the workplace. So I asked them about someone who is a manager, then immediately give the picture is the Caucasian with a very old, distinguished look as a manager. But actually, it's diversity. We can have young managers much younger than the subordinates and so on. It can be Asian, so it can be darker skin, so and so on. So just remember, so the message information they give you is not really accurate. A lot of times bias prejudice. So you have to be careful. And also it can be about what you like. So they say things you wish to listen. The last one may be very important to you, which I few students that we will discuss in the class activities. And I just said, you have no trouble, but I can see this is definitely from Gen AI generate ideas. So the Gen AI, yes, we know they are very knowledgeable, but a lot of information, they are really just average. And then all the content are just it's not really outstanding. It's most likely the outcome. So those things we don't really want to just use it. So you really need to understand those things from Gen AI. Now let's go to stage 2, which I think is more relevant and important to you after you understand the stage 1, all this awareness. So stage 2, exploration. I did tell from instructor, I feel like we need to give students a bit of time for them to play around. Like when you were little, when you're playing a new toy or Lego, you don't afraid making mistakes. You just play it. So you don't afraid you're being called or something. So this stage, I want all students, you try to explore the Gen AI. You try to understand, try to do some experiments before you actually go to your assessment task. So the idea is you do those experiments, use the AI, and then try to expand your thinking, but not just replace it. Quickly show you second one. So some practical way, in well awareness, we already know what kind of generative AI tool can help us. So you need to explore a few things. Usually we know, most commonly we know Gen AI, Gemini, or Perplexity, but you can use even more other tools, right? Try to use not just one Gen AI tool, use more. Explore those ideas, different Gen 2 AI tool, and find out what's the answer they give you. They actually give you different answer. They give you different answer, and then you need to uh try to find out this. You still own thinking. This is later stage, but still think about what kind of strengths, what kind of weakness, what's the difference from Gen AI, ChatGPT with others. What kind of emphasis they have? If you can make another column for yourself, which things you think they are not accurate? Are they hallucination? Are they have bias? Are they prejudice? Are they provide the information just to please you? So try to do this, okay? And we did talk about the memory. We can mention this a bit later. I mean, in the future talk. So now here, I think the worst, the bad problem is write a 500-word essay on AI ethics. Or when I give you some assessment task, copy paste there, ask, give me the answer. I think this is the worst because you realize they should also do that. When we give the student a task, a lot of us will go to Gen AI because we want to know what's Gen AI's answer, and we will tell students, don't do that. Okay, so then this is really not good. You have little learning. You're very high risk to get being called about AI plagiarism. So there's another talk we can mention about how we write a prompt. They even have a new profession called prompt engineer. So you can get a certificate and that will be your job. So this is, but for us as students, we just need to know this is a really simple tool. There are quite a few different tools to teach us how to use a prompt properly, more effectively. So this is the most simple one is care. So first one is context, give a big background and ask questions. and give a rule, what kind of rule, limit, constraint, and then you ask them to give example. So when we want to ask essay, it's just an example, okay? You can say, I'm the first year college students. I'm writing an essay on AI ethics, I believe. Then here, you don't ask AI to give you everything. What you need to do is you need to have some idea. You need to read some paper. You do not, I mean, after all, you are college students. Do some, do some reading on the journal article, textbook. You should have some basic idea. Go there and say this is your view, and then ask them, challenge your view, ask them to give you something different. I mean, this is just an example. Even you can ask them, like even in brainstorm stage, you can ask them, can you give me a few different idea and then give me pro and con and give me some risk analysis and so on. So this is something you should play around and try to understand how Gen AI works, and then you need to kind of have your own paper to kind of make some records. I think it's really important. Not all lecturer ask you to provide a log, LOG, log of you, what kind of Gen AI tool you have used. But for you, you should do that. I'm writing a paper, I use Gen AI a lot to help me a lot of things. I do have a log myself just to show which part Gen AI have helped me, which part is my idea. But you really, to compete here, you need to have your own idea first. Then you can get some idea, go to stage 3, okay? When you go to application, this is really going to report. You are going to work together with your assessment task. Your lecturer is asking you to write an essay, then now you need to really work with Gen AI. And again, this is really authentic learning. So it's really linked to this exercise that I was just mentioned. Use proper prompt, understand which parts Gen AI can help you. And then you are basically, you are the builder. And then the Gen AI is just someone hanging your nail. You should be the one making decision. You are the pilot. And then you really should use Gen AI just maybe map invigilator rather than his pilot. So this is something you really have to take control in Gen AI, take control in your assessment task writing, and Gen AI just a collaborative role. Now, next one, this is quite important. So when you understand Gen AI, you experiment all different prompts, you start doing that for your assessment task. This is one really important, equally important with the next one. Feedback. You always ask Gen AI, give me some feedback. So here, you ask Gen AI, can you criticize my work? Do you think I can write better? In which way? So when your tutor lecturer is not around, ask feedback from Gen AI. Other than about your work, you can also ask so many different things. You can, if your lecturer is not around, you are not for example, I'm teaching 5 forces. You couldn't understand what's new entry and substitute product. Feedback, ask Gen AI, he can answer your questions. So this is really helping you to learn. So you can compare Gen AI toward feedback with your instructor. You always kind of get feedback from different parties. So Gen AI will be another one to provide feedback. So this is something, reflection, which I think is most important in these 6 stages. Reflection is to reflect about what you're thinking. When you are using Gen AI tool, you provide prompt and they give you certain answers. You need to reflect yourself. Why am I asking Gen AI for these questions? Can I ask better? If Gen AI give me this answer, right? Can I change my thinking at the stage 2? Can I use different way to ask? So this reflection here is really helping you to think about what you have been thinking. How can you do differently? How can you do better, and so on. So this is in this part, sometimes without this part, student probably just tick the box. Do you remember I asked you at the beginning assessment task? You need to tick whether you use Gen AI or not. This one is really for you to think. What's the reason you use and how you can use better, and so on. And finally, the stage 6, right, is a professional practice. this is ultimately, we are hoping students know how to use Gen AI and then can follow all different stages from awareness, understand what AI can do or can't do, also explore about different prompts, different tools, how can they help you to be more practical and more efficient. And then you actually use with your assessment task, and then make sure you are not controlled by AI. You are the one control. You are the one as a pilot. Then you do reflection and feedback, get more feedback to do better and so on, and then reflect your thinking. And this is a loop. You keep coming back. It's not like finish this stage, you are fine. So get feedback, you go back to application, you come to back to reflection and so on, different prompts. So now we are hoping students and then you should have those skills. So when you are in stage 6, you really be confident you can transfer your AI into the proper at the workplace. So the AI role here will be co-creator and ethical support tool. If you use accurately, then you should be confident. And if you can use confidently and particularly you understand all those AI can't do, and then you will be avoid a lot of mistakes like this one. This is a really, really disaster for Deloitte. So for Deloitte, what did they do is they actually have the 440, so the 290, this is the USA figures. It actually is 440. So the government's employee relation departments give Deloitte this contract, and then they provide the contract, but there are so many places, at least I think at least 12 major mistakes on inaccurate information, and this is a cost them reputation damage. And this is why we were hoping students have a proper AI ethics. And then you're using AI at the workplace, you can really make sure you are not making mistakes like Deloitte. And it's just most recent, even after this disaster happened in Australia, and they also make another disaster in Canada. So all those things make people are shocked, like what happened to Deloitte. And not just that, there are quite a few different case studies on companies didn't use Gen AI or AI properly and caused a lot of damage to their reputation. All right, guys, I'm finished my talk, and I hope you have. Do you think Gen AI is helping you to learn or make you depend on it too much?
Yes, there's there. Thank you so much, Dr. Hui-Ling. Everybody, there's actually a question in Q&A. If you could access it, Dr. Hui-Ling has dropped a question there, saying, "Do you think is Gen AI helping you to learn or making you depend on it too much?" And we have a response from Catherine and Pradeep. Dr. Hui-Ling.
Yeah.
Catherine here said it's both for her. She said, she belongs to a generation that witnessed the emergence of technology, and she can't deny how helpful it has been. However, there are times, there are times when she finds herself becoming too dependent on it, especially tools like ChatGPT, because it can easily provide answers to almost every question that comes to mind.
Yeah, thank you so much for your feedback and comments. It's wonderful. Yeah, thanks.
We also have one from Pradeep saying, he was agreeing to Catherine. He also is trying to balance, although sometimes the dependency is overshadowing. ChatGPT. Well, I guess Dr. Hui-Ling, in today's generation, you are so true. A lot of students, not just students, I believe lecturers, employees are using Gen AI. It's a tool that would make everybody's job easy. And I couldn't agree more when you said that AI, you cannot put all your personal information on AI, because AI is saving everything that we are putting in there, and it's going to be there.
May I just request everyone, if you want the AI log, would you please put it in the chat list with your email address? Because I'm writing a book chapter now, so I'm not going to put in the public, but I can
Wow.
send you as I can send you privately as this template.
Yes. And if everybody has any questions for Dr. Hui-Ling, you may drop your questions in the chat box, or you can respond to the Q&A that Dr. Hui-Ling has dropped in there. Anyone? Any last questions before we conclude this session? I think everyone is okay, Dr. Hui-Ling.
Really? How am
Yeah.
I feeling? I hope you
Yeah,
have
Dr.
more
Hui-Ling is
questions.
waiting for Dr.
But
Hui-Ling
thank you
is
so
waiting
much
for
for
questions.
coming. I think, yeah, thank you for coming. But if you want the template, I can send. I mean, the book chapter is coming up soon. We are still get approval. So if finished, I can send the book chapter to you.
Wow, we're so excited to see that book of yours, Dr. Hui-Ling. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. We've also dropped webinar feedback here in the message. If you guys could do a feedback for this session, it would be very helpful for us for our coming webinars. And if you have any suggestions, please feel free to suggest. And if you don't have any questions for now, let me just read messages for you, Dr. Hui-Ling. So Dr. Maninder said, thank you, Dr. Hui-Ling, for this very insightful session. I am sure it gives students a helpful new way to think about working with AI. Really enjoyed attending. Thank you so much for supporting Dr. Maninder.
Thank you, Dr. Hui-Ling. Thank you, Reg.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for your comments.
Also, you guys can open your microphone. If you really do have questions, you can just open your microphone, you can talk, and you can also open your camera if there's any questions. But everybody is thanking you, Dr. Wade. We must have learned a lot from the session.
My pleasure.
Yes. Any last word, Dr. Hui-Ling, before we end the session?
I think everybody just keep experimenting. Just think about playing Gen AI and then have fun with it. But just remember, always acknowledge what you have used. Did you guys notice in my PowerPoint slides, I actually acknowledge whatever pictures, whatever information I get from Gen AI, and I think this is transparency, which I mentioned at the beginning. But overall, I think well done, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thank you
you
so much, Dr. Hui-Ling. I hope to see you in our next sessions for next trimesters.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And to those who came late, you can see this session on YouTube anytime soon and in our Skills Hub in Moodle. Thank you and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Hui-Ling.